See if we get anything good for power hour here. Just kind of getting everything set up here on my end. There you go, Rich. You made it on finally. The lives are fun if they're a little busy, but I know it's been kind of slow today, so. At least for the most part. I mean, morning time I kind of didn't get a chance to hop on because of the internet, but hey, that's what works for me. Yeah, I kind of took a peek at it. It didn't look like I really missed that much. But we can take a peek at these Mara puts that just came in. And if either of you want to throw any flow my way, I can take a peek at it. Multi-leg 7% there. Probably pass on that. Looks like it's already kind of moving quick, but let's look at the flow. So let's see. Okay, so good little IV pop when the flow starts coming in. Spots coming at the ask. Looks good there. Yeah, this flow looks good to me. I probably won't pop anything in the chat right now. I'm probably just kind of will look at it on live, and if you like anything, feel free to pop it. I just kind of hate going back and forth between the lives and all that, and Discord and all that. But yeah, these Mara puts kind of look good here. 68.27, good size there, and it's already dropping. That's crazy. Can look at these SoFis. I mean, this is more of a mid fill, obviously, right away. I mean, you're coming in at 82. Your bid ask is 81, 83. And this one would be one where you want to kind of double check that open interest on Monday, because I mean that candle's very similar, and I mean SoFi's even falling. Is the whole market kind of just dropping right now? Yeah, it is. Did we miss some news? I'm still in my Nvidia puts too. I was gonna cut at 163, but Nvidia's. I mean, it's popped the last kind of 2 days it opened, but then it's just slowly coming down. And I mean, just kind of looking at that volume too. I mean, that volume kind of it's decreasing a little bit, and I mean we're seeing drawdowns here on the daily candles. So I mean, and I have 73 days on those, and I mean, erase that 0.5% pretty quick there. What was the news that just hit? Because I don't see anything. Let's see. I see Goolsby's talking right now, but I don't see anything else. All right, let's go back to the flow. But yeah, I mean, like that SoFi one here, I mean, this is something you probably have to double check on it. I mean, you have a lot of kind of open flow on this too already. So, like, that's something where I'd probably pass, but never know. Let's see how. So, we had CRM puts earlier, or a little earlier, so those are kind of moving. ACN, not really a lot of volume on that one. Those United Healthcare calls made a quick move up, 253, and I mean, still should be up, but enough to secure profits. CVX, those ran too from that 120. Just kind of looking over the flow that from this week too until I hear some dings. BG 4 looks like they're trading about 390 right now. Pretty break even on those. A lot of time on those. American Airlines, these ran yesterday. I mean, that thing. That was our entry 21. Looks like we hit 26 for a high. Let's see, I heard a ding here. Another multi-leg IWM. A lot of the IWM flow that comes in seems to be multi-leg. I don't know why, but it's just really odd when you're looking at it. There's always a lot of multi-leg stuff there. But let's go back. So American Airlines made a nice move here. AZN 62 looks like we're trading about 44 right now. Some time on those, and that does overlap earnings, so I probably shouldn't have that in the actual trackable flow, but interesting there. MU, good move on those from yesterday. 273, I believe, was our entry. 273, 281. I mean, 328 today. Grab, that was 26, 25 for the entry. Trading about 34 today. 33 hit 35. Apple, I'm going to pop this back a little bit now. That made a good move here into the next day. So 155. Looks like only half of that volume from yesterday carried over, so that whale probably passed these off, or, I mean, got off some of their contracts in here, it looks like. And I'm just doing a quick, like, kind of flow recap here for the week until we get some stuff. I'll have, like, the actual flow recap up later, too, but try not to have a lot of dead air. Bid side stuff. Yeah, this has been really quiet here, and I don't know why my premium filter keeps switching down to that. I mean, there's just a lot of earnings flow is going to be coming in too. We had those apples, so let's see, 155. That actually ran 20% the same day, and then ran nicely into Thursday. MO, how are these guys doing? 78. Again, some more time on those. Looks like we're trading about 57. This overlaps earnings too. And I've been trying to put that next to the contracts too as well. They do overlap earnings. So Uber, those puts made a good move. Obviously, 294 was the entry. Hit 340 yesterday. Should still be green on them. 305. COHR. Let's see how these guys are doing. Nice little move on those. 155. Looks like we hit 242 yesterday. Good move on those. Shit, where was I? KHC next. So obviously, we were talking about that earlier. So 62, I mean, drew down to 48. That whale added to their position too. So, I mean, you look at July 8th, 3,000. I mean, you see ads each day there. So, I mean, that whale actually added to those. Hey, simulation, what's up? And it looks like, I mean, they hit 120. I mean, would have been a wide spread today on those, but those made a good move. Apple puts, those actually made a good move too. Entry 655, hitting that 805. Let's see. Datadog, these are deep in the money. $7, $6 in the money here. 123 and trading at 555. Actually, 575 was the high yesterday. PDD, these are a little longer too. They kind of came back a little bit today, still down, but I mean, good time to get a discounted entry on something like this. NVIDIA puts, these are from the flow and charts. We're not going to look at that green candle because we would have technically entered in here. I got filled about 380-ish on these. So, I mean, trading about 310 right now. I mean, still down with some time. I'm still holding mine right now. Alcoa, good move on those. Again, 73. Looks like 157. 158 was the high yesterday. SPY puts, this poor whale kind of came back a little bit. I believe we got these at 160. I have to check my spreadsheet here. Give me a second. Let me look at my spreadsheet here. I think it was 160. I need to check in Discord here quick. Whoops. Let me pop this back up. Let me go back here and look at the SPY puts. Yep, so it was 160 and these came in on the, yep, okay, so, yeah, this one, I mean, I probably wouldn't have held on that long. I probably began out 160. What did we come up to? Oh, we only hit 167. Yeah, like I'd probably began out once we see that gap down, but still some time on here. And there were a lot of SPY puts being hit too. And I mean, just kind of looking at that net premium. Last 7 days, I mean, there's a lot of put net premium kind of coming in. So that's interesting to me. BBY 197, trading at 96 right now. Obviously, a little time on here. They're not too far out of the money. TLT, those hit about 14% yesterday. 103, looks like 114, 117-ish the last couple days. Rocket Lab, JT's favorite, even though he's not in here. I don't know where JT is. He's slacking. So 212, looks like they hit 308, and I mean, they're just chopping around that mid twos right now. And it looks like that whale's probably out. Looks like it got out on the 9th. I was like, what? Nope. So yeah, looks like they got out here at the ask about, or took some off the table. Bill, looks like we're trading at 250 right now from the 150. So that's kind of the flow from this week. It seems like it's been a really slow, like, flow week, though. Let's look at these SoFis. See, that spot, I already see it. You're getting that midfill there between the bid and the ask there. And, I mean, you overlap earnings, too. So, like that. So, I know we were looking at that one a little bit, too, where I said you probably want to check that open interest. They're definitely probably adding here. I mean, with this other ask side candle, I can probably say they're ads, but you have to overlap earnings there. I know simulation, I mean, Bitcoin, I think we're still near all-time highs. I will pull up Pan Westflow for you here, or in a second here. I just want to look at Bitcoin quick. I have my crypto right here. No, I don't want Delta Airlines. Wow. Yeah, good. I mean, we hit 119 today. Holy crap. Or almost 119, 118, 839. That's crazy. All right, let's look up Pan W here. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek if anything looks good today. So bid side. I'm looking for a chain. This 35-day chain looks kind of interesting. I'm going to clean this up quick just so we can look at it. I want to pop in that 35 chain. Kind of some multi-leg on it though, but let's see. 0-day, bid side. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna look. This might be our best chain, and it's kind of mixed here. I'm gonna pull in my other way of looking too. What is this one? This might be our news. Let's take a peek. What is this? Chairman of the U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency released a statement claiming that Powell is considering resigning. Ooh, that's interesting. We'll see, though. We'll see how the market takes that, too. That's an interesting one. All right, let's look at some. I'm going to pop this out for you, Rich Dog. Let's pop that premium down a little bit. What are we getting hit with? Oh, just multi-leg. Okay. Let's see. Just kind of looking. So, like, usually when I'm looking through all of the flow, I'm kind of keeping an eye on that premium. I'm looking for premium that's kind of sticking out to me. It's like I see the 107 right away, but multi-leg trade. A lot of multi-leg stuff on here. 211, so this is part of a multi-leg transaction here. So okay, you got an ask side put here for 164. Well, and you got these 195 calls too. So let's look at the calls first. $74, $37. I'm just kind of trying to see. I mean, I wish I had some flow before here to see what that IV was kind of looking like and kind of what that bid ask would look like before that. But I'm trying. The only thing that kind of makes me not like this flow is, I mean, you're pretty close to the timing. Might be related. I don't know, but I just don't like that drop in the IV on that one right there. Let's look at. Well, then I'm looking at my net premiums too. How do we look the last couple days? So a lot of net put premium, a lot of put volume, call volumes just kind of selling off there. So let's look at that put now. Where was that put? Oh, where was that put? Here we go. So, okay, yeah, that thing rocketed there, it looks like. Chow, what's up? 410. So that's trading at 573 right now. So, like that put, then if we look at that raw flow. So, like you can see, well, and even like this is kind of tough because I mean, that IV, to me, it would read as I mean, not as a buy or a sell, just because you don't really have that spike in that IV there, and that timing's obviously very similar. So like this flow, I probably would have just said I'd ignore it, but again, it's not 100% going to be a science where it works every single time. But yeah, like that flow was good, but like that you could have maybe said the your net premiums were kind of bearish. Then if you look at the previous days, obviously you're both big spike in the net put premium yesterday, and you saw a put come in. Like that's kind of where you want to kind of use your context clues and all that. But like for me, that's something I wouldn't have posted just because that IV was a little funky there. So let's see if we got any other action here. Multi-leg. It's going to be a lot of earnings flow. Let's see, what if simulation got for us? Soon pullback or consolidation here with pumping in the next month for Ethereum. Bitcoin still creates strong. Let's see. I'm just pulling up your table that you popped in here. Simulation. I just kind of want to look at it here. Actually, I'm going to pull it up on my end. Sorry. Let's go look. Yeah, I just said that like 2 seconds before you came in, Chow. I saw Kobayashi letter post it too. U.S. Director of Federal Housing William Pulte has said that Powell is considering resigning. So really interesting there to see if that's actually like true, because that's pretty big market news if that happens. All right, I want to look at that gamma for simulation here too. So yeah, let's see. I'm so used to looking at SPY gamma, but let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's. Oh, never mind. I thought you were talking about the Powell news, Chow. I was like, I think the market's kind of already bounced back a little bit from that. Yeah. Yeah, that gamma. I mean, your price is moving pretty close with it, but I mean, that last couple sessions here, a little drop. And then you had IBIT. I want to look at that too. Oops. Yeah, IBIT, that's still looking interesting. I mean, that gamma's still increasing. You've had increasing gamma for 4 days now in a row. So interesting there, but I mean, price is pretty close to gamma right there too. Next week. This week's the 18th already. There's a lot of net call gamma here. It looks like, or I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, kind of a small drop. That's the one thing with gamma though. It updates every day in the morning, so because it's based off like open interest and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I mean that's a small little drop there for next week's expiration. God, I can't believe it's already the 18th next week. Let's look at some flow for it though. I'm gonna see if find anything interesting. Oh, come here. Come on. Oh, look at those Nike calls in a second here. Sometimes it's easier just to reset. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ask side calls here, and I mean these are just coming in about a couple minutes ago, so that's interesting there. Bid side puts. Some more ask side calls here. Bid side calls, big multi-leg trade. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, you're up 4% on the day, too. Another ask side call just came in there. A lot of open interest on those 65s. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I want to look at those Nikes that came in. So Nike, obviously, opening trade. A lot of net put premium, and it's already kind of moving, but let's take a peek. So coming down here, 1424, very similar timing. All right, so let's come down here. So 2697, 2727. This flow looks good to me. Just looking at that, yeah. I mean, you've got an increasing spot, increasing IV. This flow is pretty textbook here, and I just take a peek here at what came in before, yeah. Yep, so I mean, that timing's enough where it's not kind of gonna throw me off, but that IV kind of coming up with all those other repeated hits and all that Nike flow actually looks pretty good, and you're only 3% out of the money, and it looks like we got some more that just came in here. How do we look over the last 7? Yeah, that Nike flow looks pretty good. I kind of want to pop it in the chat, but let's pop her in the chat quick. Let's pop it in the chat for everybody. Get my little screenshot in here for everybody. Yeah, that flow is pretty interesting, though. Very, very interesting. And you don't overlap earnings either, so it does look good. And it's short term. So Nike flow, did I save that? Yes. Okay, Nike, you can shut up now. PayPal, let's look at these obviously a little longer term here. So, I mean, you can see that Nike, not to kind of jump all over. I mean, right away, if you got rid of that BYON 67, there's your ascending fill right there. I mean, that Nike flow looks pretty good. PayPal flow. I want to see that open interest because there's already some open interest. And it looks like it's not just one big whale. So 37.59. So Ivy kind of drops there, and that's on a little bigger size and premium there, so I don't like that. Then you have that Ivy drop up here, so yeah, I'm probably wouldn't take those. Probably wouldn't say, oh, and I missed it right away. Multi-leg 33%. Yeah, that's a no on that one. But that Nike flow is actually probably the cleanest flow I've seen today. How are we doing market tide wise? Let me pop that in here. All right, let's see. All right, another ding. Multi-leg trade. There's just nothing good coming on here. That's a bit. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at that report right now. Powell reportedly considers resigning. That's just. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go take a peek at it? Let's see. Oh, what is that? Oh, let's see. New high. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I know that's well, and that's the thing too. Like everybody keeps saying Powell needs to lower rates. Powell needs to lower rates. He doesn't control the rates alone. That's not how it works. Like just because even if Bassett gets in, he has to. There has to be a vote for the rates to get lowered. Like it's not just the chair's decision to lower rates. That's good clickbait headline stuff. Let's see. Where was my? Yeah, it's. I'm like, I don't know. It just blows my mind sometimes on what people say. Like, you can't do it. Okay, I'm just trying to look at this. Is consider thing. Yeah, rates don't need. Well, it's tough because I mean, like if you come over here, like I was. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna have to pop this. Let's see this week. I mean, like if you just look at where am I? Why am I blanking? Where's Thursday? I mean, can clearly see. Okay, I don't want to do a 3. Okay, we're gonna do. I mean, this is obviously just back to August of last year. Continuing claims piling up. I mean, we're at the highest level since like 2021. Let's see. I mean, we're coming back here to that 2021. I think it was like March-ish or so. But and then even kind of looking at oh no, I gotta switch it back to next week. I mean, like even if you look at inflation here, where's my core? Like if you look at core, They're getting everything they want. So I mean, the Fed should be. I mean, you're steadily declining. I mean, you're not hitting that actual like 2% yet, but you're declining. We've been declining. So Fed have seen unemployment go up, inflation's coming down. The Fed should be cutting. They don't need to cut in half points, but I mean they should be cutting a little bit because it's I mean they're getting what they want. They're getting what they want, and they're just kind of using the tariffs to pretty much hold right now. And there could be some political bias in there too. So that's interesting there. Oh, yeah. And Powell's not going to get fired. That's one thing, too. Everybody's like, he's going to get fired. He's not going to get fired. That's very, very unlikely. All right, what are we doing market wise? Kind of just back to chopping now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then even if a chair is named before Powell's term's up next year, that's, I mean, a lame duck then. So it's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Just looking. Of course, the flow quiets down now. It's not a ton going on now. Oh, Tide. It's probably going to be a boring market Tide this week. Yeah. I mean, look at your Tide for the week. You're just not seeing a lot of people putting on a ton of premium anywhere. Just probably the flattest market Tide I've seen for a while. I got to throw in the out of the money. Whoops, I forgot that out of the money wasn't on. Wow. But yeah, I mean, everything's just pretty much in tandem, just flat. All right, what came in? I heard a ding. Upstart puts. Let's look at these. So that looks like a ad. Let's look at this flow. They move that results over here, so I always go over here to click again. All right, let's take a peek here. So, all right, flow starts to come in. So a little drop in that IV. So right away, I'm kind of looking at that. Where I don't like that. Hey, it's JT finally. Look who's late to the party. All right. So yeah, that IV drops. I don't like that. Well, here comes some more. Okay. Well, now that IV spiked. That spot spiked. Okay, so I mean, now our flow looks good. Yo, oh, that'd be so nice. That'd be nice. But okay, I'm gonna take. Well, so okay, let's see. So, stop coming in, flow. Hold still. So okay, IVC. This is kind of a good example here. IV comes up. IV comes up here, and then it looked like it dropped a little bit here. 73, 28, 70. Okay, this. Okay, this actually kind of looks good. What about that bid? So it's 7 days. How far out of the money are we? 2%. See, I just don't like chasing something that's a weekly that's already down 3%. I get continuing to drop here, obviously, but like this is something you got to be kind of quicker on. Like by the time I post this, it's already kind of making a move, so it's tough. 74.17, so it went up. Oh no, see, no, your IV dropped here. So okay, there's my confirmation that I'm not gonna even think about it anymore. But again, it's not 100% of science. The IV can increase, the spot price can increase, and the contract could just go to shit. Because you never know the full story of what they're doing. But I mean, like, this is textbook, like, when you just look at the raw flow, or not the actual flow feed, but I mean, how it hit all the overall flow feed. But then when you dig in here, I just don't like that IV drop at the end. 76, and then you drop kind of big there. So, gamble if you're going to do it. I mean, I'd probably try to trade it on a trend and close today. Just nothing, man. Nothing. Put premiums kind of coming up, volumes there, but I mean, again, looking on that weekly level, just flat the last 7 trading sessions. Little spike there in call premium, but just nothing. Even kind of 14 days out. There's a little more put premium here, so that's interesting to me, but you're just not seeing that put volume. How are we doing here? Just choppy volume. We're at 50 million. I mean, we're trading about the average, but we're just kind of chilling, waiting for earnings season to start next week. Yeah, earlier in the day. Yeah. 15 minutes before open, I'm like, why is my Wi-Fi not working? And then my phone stopped working. I was like, cool. And yeah, there was a nice power outage. But I got back on about, I think it was like 10ish. Kind of looked it over. I mean, it was just a lot of multi-leg stuff. Yes, I can. Thanks, Karma. That made me go so I didn't have to sit and talk. Yeah, I didn't lose power, but I lost internet. It was really strange. Really strange there. All right, let's see if we got anything interesting on Wolf here for Karma. So, okay, these puts kind of look good at first glance. We'll kind of pop them in. But I mean, a little lighter volume there. So this would be your main one that looks kind of good. So let's just look at these. It's only 100 volume. Might have to just pull up check the last couple days too. That 3 call. Oh, that call. Oh, it's only 50 on the day. All right, I'm gonna, because I'm not really seeing much on that, so I want to do it like this. All right, let's do it like this. Look at your last 7 days. Okay, why are you being goofy? Why are you being goofy? Okay, last 7. All right. Why is unusual? Will's being kind of goofy for anybody else, or is it just me? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Why is it being goofy for me? Might not be looking at Wolforia Karma. That's really strange. So this is kind of. I guess I'll go with what. Let's see. Okay, try this and take off the premiums and stuff. Maybe. Okay. I'm gonna do like 2,000 for the premium. So okay, looks like on the 9th. I'm gonna try that time range again after, but looks like you have some long-term wolf calls here. Looks like a whale hitting that 3 and the 7 for 2027. So that's interesting there. I want to see if it'll let me go just back. Okay, now it's working for me. Perfect. So yeah, I mean that's. Well, there's a lot of kind of. So that came back in on the 17th. So let's go. So it looks like that is your original entry there. So those already made a good move, 25 up to 63. I probably wouldn't chase those now. But yeah, that's interesting. And it looks like, okay, volume carried over. I didn't really see much volume come off, so they're still in, but obviously that is the 2.5 call they could exercise if they really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, that made a big move up. I probably wouldn't chase those. Yeah, good little find there. Let's see what you popped. Yeah, the 2.5. I suppose I didn't have to close that window. Let me come back here and look. Wolf, those are the 718, 2.5s. Check GME for you. So the 17. Okay, that's. Yeah. Okay, that was the one we were looking at. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, it looks, I mean, you made your move on that one. Let's look up GameStop here for simulation. I will have to adjust this. Okay, let me. Let's take a peek here. Multi-leg trade there. A lot of multi-leg stuff going on here. Some bid side put. Oh, those are kind of expired. That's expired. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything super interesting. How about this guy? Nope. Multi-leg. Yeah, a lot of multi-leg stuff on here. Yeah, I'm going to say I'm not seeing anything interesting for GameStop right now. How are we looking? I mean, big spike and not really seeing anything super interesting on the net premiums either. I mean, a lot of dips on the calls and then big spike in puts and spike in calls today. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything interesting in GameStop there. Gonna get anything for the last couple minutes of the day. How we doing? Kind of selling off. Not really. You need Roaring Kitty to come back on and post some memes, and then you'll get some movement on GameStop. That's your best bet. I can't. It must be nice to just be able to post a picture of a Pop Tart or something stupid and make a stock shoot up 10%. Yeah, so like those upstarts that we were looking at. Oops. Like, see, they kind of flattened out here a little bit. And just nothing. Enjoy your weekend, Karma. I'm guessing you're heading out. Yeah, it's kind of quiet now. I'm hang out till market close, though. Oh, man. Be nice if we get something. How are those Nike calls doing? Moved up a little bit. Teeny bit. Not much. Yeah, that put premium. Seen a little call participation there, but not much. Let's see. And just your top impactors. I mean, SPY, you're causing your put premiums to go up. Yeah, just kind of not a ton today. Not a ton. And it's earnings season next week. Yay. We can go look at some earnings while we wait. Internet must be still be kind of goofy. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I thought earnings started Friday. Usually financials start on Friday. Nope, we got Tuesday. What came in? BE. Okay, that's a bad spread right away. Instantly no. Yeah, it was like, oh, thank God earnings start end of the week. Nope, it's Tuesday. So earnings Tuesday. Discover. Netflix will be your big one next week besides your financials. American Express. Can't wait. And what do we have for? No, we have CPI, PPI, consumer sentiment, retail sales. Oh, finally a busy week after a quiet couple weeks. Especially last week. Those holiday weeks are just brutal. And especially it was only a 3-day week too. 3.5 day. All right, let's look at these AESs. Something to do. Okay, so overlaps earnings. So right away, probably an earnings bet. Well, if you took those longs from earlier, All right, let's see the LW55s. I'll pull that in a second. What a move on those. I probably wouldn't chase those now. I'll tell you that made a pretty big move. Well, let's go look at that one here. I don't know why I always go out of that. So those were the LW 81555s. 160 up to 196. Yeah, I probably wouldn't chase those now. That's made a pretty big move. And like looking at it too, was that the first piece of flow that came? Yeah. So I mean, like you didn't really have any flow around it to go off of. Kind of a wider bid ask there. So like me, I probably wouldn't have posted that. Just I mean, you don't really have anything to go off of around that. You can't really get any context clue. Oh, well, let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to look here. But it's a smaller volume here, and you're not coming in at the ask. So obviously, hindsight, it's going to be 2020. But like if in real time, this is probably something I wouldn't post just because you can't see the full transaction. Like you don't know if this is the same person or not. You can probably assume it is, but hard to 100% know. But obviously, hindsight, big move on those. Hearing dings. Where are my dings coming in? There. Hey, there you go. We were talking about ETHA a little bit earlier. Let's take a peek at these. So some more flow coming in right now. So like this. Okay, so a little drop in the IV there. Drop in the IV. Yeah, that's... And again, you're up almost 7% on the day. Could be taking advantage of being filled at the ask. I just don't like that setup there. How we looking? A lot of net call premium, so... Yeah, like if that flow carried over, I'd probably wait for a discounted entry on something like that where you're 70 days out. All right, how are we gonna finish? Oh, multi-leg cores. Yeah, that put premium's still climbing there a little bit. That's interesting leading into next week, too. What do we got for an update here? Trading calendar. Oh, that's kind of cool. Where's this? I haven't seen this. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That is absolutely cool. That's awesome, actually. All right, everybody. I don't know. I was gonna stay till market close, but it doesn't look like we're gonna probably get much more. I kind of want to see what my NVIDIA puts are doing here too. So give me a second. Okay, just checking a couple of my positions. All right. Well, probably gonna hop off here and probably not gonna see much for the next couple minutes. All right, we'll hang out. We'll hang out. We'll hang out. We'll give it another 3 minutes. Just kind of watch how what happens. Looking like a nice little kind of drop into close. We'll see. Now I said that, and we're gonna chop probably. All right, I heard a ding. I lied. We'll go look at that. So some spy puts coming in here. Let's take a peek at them. So I mean, your put premiums up. How's your holdings? Bid side. $94, so it looks good there. $17, yeah, that spy flow looks pretty good here. There's been a lot of like just looking at that spy flow, the last 7 days of spy flow. I mean, that's bearish. I mean, there's a lot of bear spy flow coming in over the last 7 days. So that's really interesting to me. Not even one call there. Let's see if we can look at QQQ too. I mean, you had one QQQ call come in, and that was a really small whale too. But yeah, I mean, the flow's been very bearish here for ETFs over the last 7 days. So curious to see what's going to happen here in the short term, long term. Going to be a lot. All right, we got 3 seconds. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Nothing. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in. I'll have some fun weekend stuff up here later on, but have a great weekend, everyone.